Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Augusta, Illinois. It's time for Adams Fiber coverage of Southeastern Lady Sons Volleyball on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Tonight, it is the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders in the house to take on the Lady Sons. We'll meet the starting lineup first for the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders. Leah Turwelp, a sophomore, middle back. Number 20, Capiga. Number 7, Sophia White. Number 11 is Eva Breckenkamp. Number 16 is Nora Wiley. Number 19 is Addie Flesh. The libero, number 6, Mackenzie Fitzgerald. Now there's the starting lineups for both teams. We'll go over them again with you. I think I got them all. It is the libero Mackenzie Fitzgerald for the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders. She's a junior. Sophia White, a sophomore setter. Number 11, Eva Breckenkamp, is a senior middle hitter. Leah Turwelp is a sophomore middle hitter, number 12. Number 16, Nora Wiley, a senior left side hitter. Addie Flesh, a senior outside hitter. And Sophia Tapega is a senior defensive specialist. She wears number 20. For the Lady Sons, it will be Morgan Wilcox, the 5'6" middle blocker, a junior. Jalen Van Beck, the 5'2" junior setter, wears number 9. Kinsey Griswold is back after her brief absence, a 5'8" senior middle blocker, outside hitter. She'll wear number 15. She's 5'8". Adriana Starks, a 5'5" senior. Got her listed as a libero. She's a outside defensive specialist, wears number 16, Tegan Rigg. And we're going to start off with Fitzgerald, the libero, serving things up for the Raiders, and it's going to fall into the net. The first touch of the match for Griswold ends in an ace for Fitzgerald, number 6. I think it's number 6. There's a dig after the hit by Stevens. That's going to be 4 hits on a little miscommunication and a side out. It is Fitzgerald, number 6. She got the ace. Back to serve is going to be Morgan Wilcox for the Suns with the score tied at 1, and she sails that one deep out the back. A service error and a side out back to the Raiders. Subs coming in for the Raiders. Into serve is going to be number 13, Taylor Ginnenbacher. Into the front row is number 15, Tristan Piper. That means Eva Breckenkamp leaves. We believe. Nope, she's still up there. And that's going to be an overpass and a kill. And a side out. Kara Stevens gets her first kill. Stark's back to serve now. She's going to drop it short. Quick. And that is going to be a kill off the hand of Eva Breckenkamp. Her first. The senior middle hitter drove that one home in a hurry. That's actually the first kill for the Raiders. Back to serve is going to be the very formidable Nora Wiley. She wears number 16. Some of these names seemed like they've been here forever at Quincy Notre Dame. Wiley and Breckenkamp, a couple of those. And there's a big block on a Stevens attack. Up there on the block was number 8, Kate Gramke, as well as Breckenkamp. And there's another serve by Wiley. It's off the net. Dug up back there by Ginnenbacher. There's a hitting error by Gramke, who didn't have the best of set. She tried to hit it anyway, and it goes into the net. Back to serve is going to be Kara Stevens for the Lady Suns. It's Putnam back in. It's going to be pushed across by Piper. Now it's going to be pushed across by Griswold. Middle, out of bounds. On the attack by Piper. Stevens is going to get the service point. It's tied at 4-4. Wiley got that one. Gramke. Starks, into the net, and it's going to fall. Gramke is going to get the kill. And a side out for QND. Back to serve is going to be Ava Breckenkamp. She's dug by Griswold. Stevens to Wilcox. Is going to go over the net. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And that time, Wilcox got one across and down. It's tied at 5-5. Coming back to serve is going to be Tegan Rigg. Rigg's serve, dug by Wiley. Out to Piper. Did not get the nets. I thought it got blocked. It did not. So that is a hitting error, and Tegan Rigg is going to give the Suns the lead at 6-5. Trouble for Wiley. It's going to be back there as Breckenkamp. Rigg on the free ball. Stevens outside. Griswold off the block and down. Kenzie Griswold gets her first kill since coming back from her brief absence. And Rigg is going to get another service point, her second. And the Suns lead by 2, 7-5. Middle. That's number 12, Turwelp on the attack. That's down the line and in for Kenzie Griswold. Her second kill. You might have heard Coach Kerr say he didn't know how well she'd play coming off the week off of not really being able to do much. She's not lost her touch. Now, will she have the endurance to stay with it for an entire 2 or 3 set match? We'll see. Tipped across and down. Turwelp gets the kill. And a side out for the Raiders. Coming in to serve for the Raiders going to be number 7, Sophia White, the sophomore setter. Rigg is there. Stevens outside. Griswold. Back row attack. Stevens is going to be pushed across. The double hit by Putnam. She didn't really have much of a choice. That's really all she could do. Sophia White is going to pick up the point. It's 8-7 Lady Suns. Starks, Stevens, out to Griswold, off the net, and down it goes in front of a diving Nora Wiley. A side out for the Lady Suns. Coming in to serve is going to be Jalen Van Beck, a junior, 5'2" setter. Where's number 9? Quick set, middle, Turwelp. And the quick set and the kill. Not even a block was able to get there. Turwelp gets her second kill. And it's 9-8. Coming in to serve is going to be Sophia Topega. Stevens outside. Griswold is blocked out of bounds. A kill for Griswold. Her third already. She'll come back to serve as she abused the block on the offensive left, defensive right that time. Back set, going to be tipped across. Griswold is there. Middle, Stevens hits it into the net, trying to get around Turwelp and got it down too far and into the net. It's a side out, and going back to serve will be the libero, Mackenzie Fitzgerald. Stevens off the block. It's punched up. Starks got across to it. Rigg sends it across. It's going to be an overpass. That might be another overpass. It is. A little sloppy right there. Middle. Tipped across. Starks is there. Stevens dug off of White. Back set. We punch down the line by Wiley. Middle to Stevens. Wiley is there again. White sets back. It's punched across by number 19, Flesh. Now it's a nice dig in the back row by Fitzgerald. Now Wiley is going to get the kill. Nora Wiley gets her first kill. And another service point for Mackenzie Fitzgerald. Her second in as many services. And it's 10-10. And Breckenkamp sends that one back across on an overpass, and it's going to be a lead for QND. (11-10). QND with the lead now. Stevens, an overpass. Coach Kerr wants to know if it was an overpass. The chair official says no. Breckenkamp's going to get another kill. Another point for Fitzgerald. She's got 3 this service. Her team's up by 2 now. Stevens off the block. Drug up. Bump set. Wiley. Oops. Wiley's going to get the kill right there as I saved the ball and then hit a little girl, I do believe. I apologize. Another point. Slide. Putnam there. Pushed across by Van Beck. It was. That was an attack by Wiley. That time it was Flesh on the kill and a timeout charge to the Lady Suns. It's 14-10, 5 straight service points for Mackenzie Fitzgerald. And the Raiders have taken control a little bit here in set number 1. This match being brought to you by Adams Experts. Looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services? Call Adams Experts in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down. Of course, Adams Fiber, available in Adams and Hancock County. Make sure you check those folks out for all your internet services. There's another problem for the Suns. And I've been wrong the whole time. It is Jocelyn Boyer, the libero. She got an ace right there. Finally got to turn around and see her back to see the bigger number. It's 15-10. Stevens going to have to just tip it across. They're going to dig it up, send a free ball across. Quick to Stevens again. This time it's going to go left off of White, and a kill for Kara Stevens, just her second. Morgan Wilcox is going to come back to serve now with her team down by 4. Wilcox. Trouble. Boyer had it. Quick to Stevens, tips it across, push back across. Stevens down again, push back across on an overpass. Back to Stevens from Van Beck, and this time off of Boyer and down. Stevens gets her 3rd kill. Morgan Wilcox gets her 1st service point. Just the 4th service point of the match for the Lady Suns. Wilcox back to serve. That was Breckenkamp. Pass on the set was intended for Breckenkamp, and it went to the net. She couldn't do anything with it. Excuse me. Wilcox gets her 2nd straight service points, down to a 2-point advantage. More passing problems. Wiley sent that across to Van Beck, middle to Stevens. Down, they're out of system. They're going to go out to Flesh. Flesh is dug up. There's Rigg tipping it across. Van Beck hit across by Riley Hart. And that time it was knocked down by Breckenkamp and a side out. Breckenkamp for the 4th time gets a kill on an overpass. That time it's 16-13. Going back to serve and to set will be Taylor Gittenbacher. So White and Gittenbacher, the 2 setters, in a 6-2 for the Raiders. And there's trouble for Griswold. And an ace for Gittenbacher, her 1st service point. Van Beck. The attack by Stevens is dug up. It'll be Wiley, cross court. Wilcox was down, sailed up on her. And Wiley is going to get the kill. That'll be her 3rd. Another service point for Gittenbacher. Hop in that live chat. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for, and tell me what names I'm butchering as well, as Gittenbacher is back there and gets another ace as it drops down in front of Griswold. 19-13, the score. Wilcox, an overpass, brought up. Rigg. Outside. That was number 15, Piper. Now it's dug out. Now it's going to come to Wiley down the line. And she'll get the kill. Nora Wiley gets her 4th. 20-13. Gittenbacher gets her 4th straight service point. Stevens went down. Van Beck back to Stevens. Through the block and down it goes as Wiley and Breckenkamp did not close the block very well that time, and it's going to result in a side out. Adriana Starks comes back in to serve as Riley Hart takes a seat. Off the block of Stevens and down. And the attack by Breckenkamp is blocked. A kill block for Stevens. Her first block. Starks gets her first service point. It's 20-15. Oh, nice cross-court kill for Nora Wiley. Starting in the middle and then on the slide, hitting from the right side. And she gets the kill. 21-15. And Wiley, with 5 kills now to lead everybody, is back to serve. Down the line, Stevens is there. Van Beck back to Stevens from the right side. Blocked down. Gramke and Breckenkamp get the blocks. Another point for Wiley, her second. It's 22-15. Going right at Stevens. Back to Stevens. Deep left corner, in. Another kill for Kara Stevens. She's got 4. She'll come back to serve now with her team trailing by 6, 22-16. Stevens serving. Boyer, blocked by Griswold, punched across. Stevens, the setter now. Griswold, the attack, and out. They want a touch. Did they get a touch? They did not get a touch. Coach Kerr is still signaling a touch. Back to serve will be Ava Breckenkamp. Eva Breckenkamp, excuse me. Middle, Griswold, dug up an overpass. That was a great dig by Wiley. Rigg. Oh, it's going to be hit across by Breckenkamp, and it falls from the back row. Just reaction by the senior, and Breckenkamp is going to get her 5th kill from the back row, and it's 24-16. And serving is Breckenkamp. Griswold blocked and out of bounds. Griswold's going to get the kill. It'll be her 4th. 24-17. Rigg with the serve. Outside, no, back row. And Nora Wiley gets the back row kill to end set number 1, 25-17. So set number 1 goes to Quincy Notre Dame, 25-17. We'll take our first break. We'll be back. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I'm Lindsay Schaefer. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic floor physical therapy here at McDonough District Hospital Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Young women, a lot of them have pelvic pain. They don't realize that it's something that they don't have to live with anymore. It's very common for people to have urinary leakage. And I always say it's common, but it's not normal. It's not something you need to live with. I also focus on hip pain, back pain. It's all kind of connected. Any age really can benefit from it.
Every McDonough District Hospital sports medicine and rehabilitation patient receives one-on-one appointment times with a licensed staff member. They develop a personalized recovery and treatment plan to turn your setback into a comeback. We offer physical and occupational therapy, vestibular rehabilitation, speech-language pathology, cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation, dry needling, and pelvic floor therapy. MDH, your community physical therapy partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
I think the rewarding parts of my job are seeing people over time and getting to know them and getting to know their families. And that's very exciting to see them and get them better over time, especially if I'm able to find out something that other places haven't. And that's kind of what drew me to family medicine. You know, I try to get along with people and treat them as I would my family. Do what we can to get the patients taken care of day in and day out. It's pretty supportive. I'm Dr. Michael Waters. I'm a family physician here at the McDonough District Hospital Family Clinic.
And welcome back here. You're watching Adam's Fiber coverage of Southeastern Lady Sun Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Peyton on the camera tonight. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage thus far as we are moving into set number 2 of the varsity matchup. It was 25-17 Quincy Notre Dame in set number 1. Kinsey Griswold will start things off at the service line for the Suns here in set number 2. Griswold serves it up. Wiley's there. Right back to Wiley from the middle. It's dug by Van Beck. Out to Wilcox, who drops one in. Her first kill. And it's a point for the Lady Suns. Morgan Wilcox gets her first kill of the night. Kinsey Griswold gets her first service point of the night. Outside, Breckenkamp. Off the net, it's dug up, middle, Stevens tips it down, dug up by White. Wiley out. Very, very close. But Griswold's going to get another point on the hitting error. She tried to paint the line and was just outside the line. White's going to track down a bad pass. That one came right at me. I couldn't quite save that one. It was a bad location. Another hitting error. Griswold gets her third service point. That one's blocked by Stevens. Van Beck, Stevens tips it right side and down. It's 4-0. Stevens gets her 5th kill. Griswold served 4 straight to open set 2. Pushed across by Flesh. Stevens puts it down. How is that not a lift? Holy smokes. Middle, Stevens drives it home. Left side. 5 straight points to open set number 2, all off the hands of Griswold. And 2 kills from Kara Stevens. Griswold serves it up again. Better pass, well, maybe not a whole lot better. We pushed across. Griswold is there. Van Beck, Stevens, off of Boyer and down. 6 straight and a timeout, Quincy Notre Dame. This game being brought to you tonight by M&B Furniture. M&B Furniture is Bushnell's only furniture store. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles for everything you need to furnish your new home and replenish an old one. Stop and see the fine folks at 481 West Main Street in Bushnell, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.mbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call them 309-772-2111. After the timeout, got little ones running back and forth across the gym. Waiting for him to get settled, and we'll try it again. Here we go. 6-0. Griswold. Better pass this time. Breckenkamp. Van Beck, Stevens. Dug in the back row to the net. White. Got it to Wiley, but Wiley got into the net. Wasn't a great set. And it's going to be 7 straight for Griswold. That's going to come over the net. Nope, they're going to say somebody was in the net on the far side. I believe it was Flesh was in the net. 8 straight. And finally, a kill by Nora Wiley is going to end the run, but the Lady Suns up 8-1 after the Wiley kill. Her 7th. In to set and serve is Taylor Ginnenbacher. She served 4 straight in her second service of set number 1. We'll see what she can do here. This is going to be rigged. Van Beck, Stevens off the block, and down it goes. Kara Stevens has got it rolling a little bit now. She's up to 8 kills. Morgan Wilcox back to serve with her team up 9-1. Morgan Wilcox has 2 service points. 9-1 the score here in set number 2. Nora Wiley on the attack and the kill, her 8th. Went off Griswold, side out. Wiley going back to serve now. She has 2 service points unofficially. Wilcox, Van Beck, Stevens down and right in front of Boyer. And Starks back to serve now as it's 9 kills, 5 of them here in set number 2 for Kara Stevens. Starks serves it up. Ginnenbacher to Gramke and through the block of Stevens and down. Gramke gets her second kill. Now back to serve is Eva Breckenkamp. They've traded side outs here in the last few. Stevens, Van Beck, Stevens tips it across, dug up by Wiley. Back row attack, Breckenkamp, and she sails it out the back. A side out back to the Lady Suns. Putnam coming in for Van Beck. Back to serve is Kara Stevens. 11-3, Suns with a set 2 lead. They're down 1-0. Notre Dame won the first set 25-17. Outside, Gramke off the block of Putnam and Griswold. Gramke is going to get the kill on the blocking error and a side out. Gramke up to 3 kills now. Sophia White back in to set and serve, number 7. She'll be back there serving it up for the Raiders. A let serve and an ace. That's her second point, first ace. Quick to Griswold, tips it across. Turwelp was there. The lefty from the right side. Flesh gets the kill. It's a hitting error by Putnam, and it's going to be another point for White. It's down to a 5-point advantage for the Lady Suns. They ran off 8 straight to open the set. Stevens, Rigg. It's going to fall short and a kill for Tegan Rigg. Tegan Rigg is going to get her first kill. She'll come back to serve now. Her team back up by 6, 12-6. And a passing error. An ace for Tegan Rigg. Her third service point. First ace. Rigg serves it up again. Boyer is there. Middle. Block. Turwelp. But Turwelp's going to get the kill. Leah Turwelp, the sophomore middle, gets the kill. Outside of Wiley, Ginnenbacher and Breckenkamp, they are relatively young. There's a big block by Turwelp on a big attack by Kinsey Griswold. It's down to a 5-point game. Another big attack and a block, but it got off the block this time. Turwelp got her first block last time. Stevens out to Griswold. She mishit it and it goes out of bounds. A hitting error. And it's 13-9. 2 straight points for the defensive specialist Topinga. Rigg goes down to get it. Bump set. It's going to be Griswold pushing it across. Putnam. An overpass. Oh, it came down on the wrong side. I thought Putnam got it back on the other side. She did not. Timeout charged to Southeastern. So Sophia Topega has 3 straight service points. It's down to a 3-point game. This game being brought to you tonight by Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar, Sports Corner at 124. They're probably playing trivia right now at Sports Corner at 124. They do that every Tuesday. They have $1 wings, the best wings in Macomb, I'm told. On Wednesday nights, get that old Red Ox style ugly steak on steak night. On Thursday night, And, of course, catch all the Friday night football games and all the Saturday football games and the NFL games on Sunday at Sports Corner at 124. That's 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Another serve, another problem for the Suns. It's going to be a free ball. Deeply sent. Boyer is there. It's going to be a back row attack. And out of bounds. Oh, I guess it was inbounds. Never mind. It's 13-11. Pushed across. Outside Griswold, off the block. Outside, Flesh. That was in. It's 13-12. Flesh gets the kill. Dumped across. Stevens back to Griswold. Down the line, dug by White. They're out of system. Boyer a bump set. Wiley with the left hand. Wilcox pushes it across. Flesh pushes it up. Griswold after a nice dig by Stevens. Out to Wiley, back across and down. Nora Wiley gets the kill. It's her 9th. 5 straight. And we're tied at 13. Griswold blocked, dug up by Griswold. Stevens back to Griswold again. Dug by Wiley. White pushes it across. Griswold again. Dug by Boyer. White near side, quick to Wiley, and Wiley gets another kill. Unofficially 6 straight for Sophia Topega. Tipped across, dug up by White. Wiley saves it. Free ball by Boyer. Rigg, Stevens, Wilcox, tipped across, and down it goes. Morgan Wilcox stops the run finally. Her 2nd kill of the sets. And it's tied at 14. Back to serve and back in is Jalen Van Beck. She serves it up left side. Sophia White. Turwelp gets the kill. Side out as Turwelp has got 4 kills now, 3 of them here in set number 2. Back to serve is Jocelyn Boyer. She's got 7 points, including 2 aces. Van Beck, Wilcox. Back set, Flesh off the block, and down it goes. Addie Flesh has 8 service points now for Jocelyn Boyer. Net violation. Side out. Suns trailing by 1. Griswold going back to serve. 16-15. Raiders have battled all the way back to take the lead. They've led by as many as 2 here in set. They're going to go off the block. Van Beck to Stevens. Left side, and down it goes. Another kill for Kara Stevens. And Griswold gets the service point. She is up to 9 now. She served 8 straight. Rigg with a nice dig. Van Beck tracks it down. Wilcox from the left side. It's a one-arm dig. It's pushed across. Van Beck now back to Stevens. Off of Boyer. What a pass. It's going to go to Wiley. It's going to be 4 hits, and we're tied at set. We've got a 17-16 lead, for the Suns. Griswold has served 10 points all here in the second set. She's taken her team back to the lead. Back set. Wiley from the right side gets the kill, and she'll go back to serve. We're tied at 17. Well, she's not going back to serve. Turwelp goes out, and Ginnenbacher into serve. Griswold, Van Beck. Stevens sends a free ball across. Wiley gets another kill. They are doing a double, and I'm going to have to find out what that's called, because you don't see that very often, but they're running it pretty well here. Stevens drives it down off the block. And a side out. We're tied at 18. Stevens up to 11 kills now. Morgan Wilcox serving it up. Boyer is there. It's going to be Wiley pushing it across. Van Beck traced after it. A kill for Wiley unofficially. It's 12. That's a pretty weak kill, but we'll call it one. Going back to serve is going to be Nora Wiley, the senior left side hitter. Her team up by 1, 19-18. They lead 1-0 to the Raiders. Drops it short. Griswold is there. Van Beck, middle to Stevens. Stevens drives it off Boyer up to the ceiling. It's punched up by Wiley. Free ball by Gramke. Van Beck, Stevens through the block. Again, Boyer is there. Gramke across and down it goes. Gramke is up to 4 kills. Wiley now has 3 service points. Stevens, Van Beck, Stevens. Dug by Gramke. Be hit across by Boyer. Now to Stevens. Left side and down it goes. Kara Stevens gets the side out. A much needed side out for the Suns. She's up to 12 kills. Back to serve is Adriana Starks. Ginnenbacher to Gramke. It's just in, just on the line, side out. Gramke gets another kill. That'll be her 5th. Kate Gramke, the junior outside hitter. Back to serve is going to be Eva Breckenkamp. She's got 5 kills, a block. Stevens from the 10-foot line. Middle, Turwelp. Middle, Stevens. And down it goes. Kara Stevens gets another kill. Side out. Stevens with 13 unofficially. She's got just 1 service point, though. Her team down by 1, 21-20 here in set number 2. An overpass. Griswold was there. Gramke sends it across, but then into the net she goes. Stevens will get the service point, and we're tied at 21. Ginnenbacher, back set, Piper, Doug. Outside, Riggs going to track it down, tries to push it across. She had to chase it so far, had a little too much on it. Side out, back to a 1-point lead as Flesh comes back in. White comes in as well to serve for the Raiders. 19-8 will switch, and a let serve. Stevens is there. Rigg to Griswold. Up and down it goes. Griswold's going to get another kill, and we're tied at 22. Griswold's got 5. Rigg back to serve. 22-22. Both teams have called 1 timeout. Boyer, White, dug up by Stevens. Griswold's going to send it across. Gramke's there. Middle. Turwelp drives that one home on a perfect set. And she got it driven home at the 10-foot line, and it's 23-22. And timeout, I think, is going to be charged to the Lady Suns. Five kills for Turwelp. And a timeout is charged to the Suns, down by 1 at 23-22. It'll be the Raiders' serve after the timeout. This game being brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. McDonough District Hospital's athletic trainers and MDH Rehabilitation Center with 4 locations, 2 in Macomb, 1 in Bushnell, and 1 in Monmouth, provide expert help to area student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. And Ron L.B. Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron L.B. Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb, talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris. Or visit www.ronlb.com for more information and check out their inventory. Here we go. And an ace. We're at match point. Topeka has served 7 points, all in set 2. She's the one that got them back into the game after they were down by as many as 8-0 before a side out. Starks, an overpass, and Wiley is going to finish it off. She'll finish with 13 kills, and it's 25-22 the final. As Southeastern drops a 2-set match to Quincy Notre Dame. We'll look at some stats here for the victorious Quincy Notre Dame Raiders. Unofficially, Jocelyn Boyer, 8 service points, including 2 aces. Sophia White, the starting setter, 3 service points, including an ace. Kate Gramke had a block and 5 kills. Breckenkamp, 5 kills and a block. Leah Turwelp, 5 kills and a block. Taylor Ginnenbacher, numerous set assists, but 4 service points, including 2 aces. Nora Wiley, perhaps the player of the game, 13 kills and 3 service points. Sophia Topega had 7 service points, all in set number 2. For the Lady Suns, Morgan Wilcox had 2 service points and 2 kills. Kinsey Griswold had 10 service points, all in set number 2, including 8 straight to open set 2 before Topeka brought the Quincy Notre Dame Raiders back. Griswold also finished with 5 kills. Adriana Starks had 1 service point. Tegan Rigg had 3 service points, including the lone ace for the Lady Suns. She also had 1 kill. Kara Stevens, 2 service points and 13 aces to go along with 1 block for the Lady Suns. That's how this one ends up. Once again, 25-17. 25-22. We'll get Coach Kerr, I think, up here to talk for a couple minutes before we get out of here tonight. She's talking to a couple kids that are here. She comes his way up here. We'll get him on the headset. I want to thank Peyton Totten for running the camera again tonight. Coach Kerr is finding his way up through the maze that is our way to our table up here. This was a dangerous spot to be sitting tonight. Got Coach Kerr under the headset now. Coach, that's a pretty good Quincy Notre Dame team.
Yeah, they came to play tonight, didn't they? I know they've obviously have loads and loads of talent, and I've watched them play a few times this year, and they didn't play that well. They played good tonight, so I'll wear that. We'll wear that as a badge of honor that they're going to play really well against us and want to play us and beat us, and the fact that they were so excited about beating us, that's we'll take that. We will consider that a compliment, and I thought our girls did a good job of fighting and hanging in there. First set we were right there for a while, and then they kind of took control. We had some things kind of not go our way, and I think you could see a little bit of rust on Kinsey on the serve receive. She gave them I mean, I shouldn't say she gave them, that's mean, but they got a few points on serve receive against us, and they obviously got going and rolling, and they have lots of good offense, lots of good weapons, obviously. Second set got off to that nice lead, and we just couldn't. They came back with all their firepower, and when they're playing that way, they're going to beat most teams. There're going to be a lot of teams. So lots of good hitters and good offense for them, and just athletes and size. And I really thought overall our girls did a really nice job against their attack. Carrie got a lot of balls down, Quincy got some balls down, and that was something I was worried about. Being able to attack against their blockers. So I think that bodes well for us going forward, is being able to be as effective as we were offensively when we had opportunities against a really good defensive team and a really good block.
Yeah, there's not going to be very many 1A schools that have. You might have one player as tall as they have, but you're not going to have across the board as many tall players and athletic to go along with it. I mean, it's one thing to be tall; it's another thing to be athletic too.
Yeah, no question. I mean, they do a nice job over there with just their with everything. I guess they played really well tonight. I thought they made a few hitting errors there a while, kind of let us get a little bit of a lead there. But for the most part, I thought they played pretty well, and they probably would say the same thing, I'm guessing.
I'll tell you what, though, it's kind of scary because you lose. They're going to lose Wiley and Breckenkamp and Ginnenbacher, but there's a whole lot of sophomores playing on that team.
Yeah,
they are loaded for a few years to come.
Yeah, they are, and they always are. That's just one of those things where every night you play Notre Dame, they're going to, in every sport, they're going to be athletic. They're going to be more athletic than you are. They're going to be probably bigger and stronger than you are, and I thought our girls did a really nice job of staying in there and hanging tough and playing, playing really, really good volleyball against a good team. So, they're going to be good forever and ever and ever.
and ever and ever.
Yep.
You always talk about playing in tough tournaments and playing against good teams, and that's why you have a team like this. But you're able to see on your home court and more of a setting where a regional will be played probably, how your team can react to some adversity. They weren't able to come back in set one, but they were able to react in set two. And when they kind of when Q&D went on a run, your girls reacted and they came back, took a little lead. They never let them really blow them out of the game. They just always reacted and played pretty solid.
Yeah, we got that nice lead, and I think they may have caught us at like 13-all or something. And,
yep.
And at that point, if you're just an innocent bystander and don't have any loyalty to anybody, you think, well, Notre Dame's going to just put it away right now. And we did a good job. We stayed right there. We were, we stayed with them until the early 20s, and then obviously they got a few at the end. But, really nice job. I told the girls afterwards, we're not going to see a more talented team than that ever the rest of the year. No matter how far we go, there's not going to be a more talented team and a team that was jacked up and wanting to win. They were very, very motivated tonight, and I know that maybe what I've watched so far of them this season, that maybe hasn't always been the case. So again, like we talked about to start, we'll take that as a compliment, and playing a team like that's that talented and that motivated, and still being able to hang right with them tooth and nail, just point for point. And I told the girls after the first set it was 25-16, and that match was a lot closer than that, I felt. So what we got out of this, what we get out of this, is we can compete against the top. This is a top talented team in the obviously the area, but more importantly in the state. So the weapons that they have and the just size and combination of everything that they have, that's not a bad loss for us. Go up and really compete with them and really give them a good. I mean, they knew they were in a match tonight, I think.
Yeah, and really, you talked a little bit about, I think, last night, and I heard some people mention it. Well, if you come out tonight the way you did last night against Rushville Industry, it wouldn't have been a very good match, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
They might have ran away. Your girls came out tonight and seemed like, even though a few things, there was a few service errors or whatever, but they came out ready to play tonight.
Yeah, we did, and we were motivated too. It's one of those things where when we always look at, there's 2 or 3 matches on our schedule that we always look at, and we try to see kind of where we are. And obviously this is one of them. This is really the, year in and year out, this is usually the best team that we play all year as far as our regular season, for sure. We put them in Macomb and, Illini West. Those are the teams that you circle on your schedule to say kind of this is a measuring stick and see where you are. And this was a good one. This was a good one. We were not too disappointed in this at all. I know Obviously you want to win, but this was not a bad loss. So we were able to get some things out of it, and I think that we're going to be better moving forward. It's nice to see Quincy on the floor again tonight. She did some nice things. I think she got a little bit tired. We kept going to her over and over again.
Well, you mentioned that last night, right? I mean, you mentioned that you were going to see against a team like Quincy Notre Dame and even West Prairie tomorrow night.
Yeah, right.
You're going to see what that week and a half or week off did for her, because conditioning.
Right.
When you don't get to condition, even for a week, no matter how athletic you are, you still get tired.
Right, for sure. And, that was a high-level match, and we kept giving her the ball over and over again. I felt like a couple times, especially that, we need to move her ball around a little bit. And Kenzie's getting every swing, and she's huffing and puffing, and she's a great athlete. But, it was one of those things where it was, again, great to have her on the floor. We couldn't have done what we did without her tonight. So it's good to see that, and hopefully she'll move forward and continue to continue to get better and get more comfortable. And
I have two. I'm taking two.
I think
cookies.
Carson took several for me at home. So yeah. So but no, again, good to have her back, and I'm glad everything went through her surgery. And we got her back 2 games before I thought we would. We originally thought she wouldn't play this week at all until Saturday. So this is nice to have her. It's going to be nice to have her have 1 game under her belt tomorrow night when we go to West Prairie. And then, obviously, when we go play 5 matches on Saturday.
Before I let you go, they bottled Kara up quite a bit in set 1. She doesn't get bottled up a whole lot. A little bit against Rushville Industry.
Yeah.
But she responded to that. I had her for 4 kills in set 1. I had her for 9 in set 2. She adjusted and hit the ball better. I mean, she stepped up personally, which it's got to be something good to see for you. For a player that you depend on so much that usually, not to be mean to anybody else, she usually has her way in a lot of places, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tonight she responded to some adversity, which you have to like to see.
Yeah, that was one of the things actually coming in that I thought I was most concerned about is, we're so dependent on her out of the middle, and they're so big in the middle. And I was, worried about her even being, bottled up, as you said, even more. She's our biggest player and, one of our most athletic players, and hits the ball so well, and one of the best players in the area. But at the same time, those girls are 2, 3, 4 inches taller than her and longer than she is, and that's a big deal. And her ability to just hit the ball around the block, and I think part of that was a function of us playing a little bit better defense and getting her the ball in some spots where, she was able to do some more things and hit some more, have some more variety in her swings. But she hit that ball left and cut the ball left so hard a couple times, and just some great swings. So really nice to see her be able to do that against, like I keep going back to it, but just great competition, and being able to, get 12, 13 kills on that team is impressive.
Now, both of you guys, being Quincy Notre Dame and you, go play pretty decent teams tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You go to West Prairie, they go to Macomb tomorrow night.
Yeah.
A match like this could be a letdown for the wrong team. What do you have to do? What do you say, either Q&D for Macomb and even you for West Prairie? Do you have to say anything to the kids, or are these two teams probably the kind of teams that are used to doing this kind of thing, and they know they're going to get the best from everybody?
Yeah, I think so. And you look at both of those instances you're talking about, and those are rivalry games as well. So I guarantee you, Quincy Notre Dame doesn't have to get up for Macomb, or Macomb doesn't have to get up for Q&D, and I know West Prairie doesn't have to get up for us, and nor would we have to get up for them. So there shouldn't be any of that going on. But yeah. You're exactly right, and we've got to bounce right back tomorrow, and so do they. Macomb and Q&D the last 3 or 4 years has been epic,
Right.
And West Prairie and us for years and years and years has been really, really good volleyball and good competition, and it's one of those things where it's really important. You look at this today and tomorrow. Those are huge matches for us, not only for just our season, but also just for our the pride of the programs, and and beating people that you want to beat, and beating people that are your friends, and we co-op with West Prairie, and so that's something that there's a little bit of a pride factor there, and going all the way back to Coach Paul and the Colchester days, and that's still in the back of our minds. So we really want to compete well and play well tomorrow and have some good success, and hopefully we will. And I'm sure if Q&D plays like they played tonight, then they'll probably be successful tomorrow too. But who knows?
Well, that's all part of it, right? That's why you play the games.
That's what they say.
That's why you play the games. And I tell you what, it's been fun watching these this group of girls of yours continue to get better and handle some adversity and stuff like that. And do you feel like you're where you want to be going into the West Prairie game and going into the end of the season?
Yeah, I think so. You look at the huge win we had last week over Macomb without Quincy, and then obviously that's just been a big that's just been a big thing for us, is getting her back and getting her ready to go. And she's so important to us and our success. And, she comes back today and gets her feet wet. And, tomorrow hopefully she'll do the same thing. And hopefully we can have a good tournament on Saturday and just kind of keep building. I mean, it's coming up. I'm going to go to my office right now, and we're gonna put everything in for the regional seeding stuff and kind of see how that plays out. And this is one of those things where I'm not a big goal guy, but playing volleyball in November is always kind of an unwritten goal that I like to have. And if that means you won a regional and you've had a good season, so this is kind of go time, and this is a time when you want to kind of tweak things. And I don't know necessarily if we saw anything necessarily, mechanically or X's and O's wise today that we need to do anything different or change. But one thing we definitely learned is we can compete at the highest level. So we recognize that, and we're able to, build off of that and take that as a positive out of tonight. Then we'll do that and, move forward. We hopefully get a nice win tomorrow and kind of like jumpstart us into that weekend tournament. And, who knows, there's some good teams over there on Saturday, and have a good showing then. And you got Central next week, and then you got another tournament at Waverly, and you're almost done. You got Illini West still lurking in the background there, and West Hancock. So, winding down, but I think we're in a good spot. And, tonight, if we can continue to play like this, we play like we played tonight against most of our teams on our schedule, we're going to be successful.
I talked to Coach Rigg, and we're talking about that. It is winding down. It's amazing how fast. I mean, after as many years as you've coached, does it seem to get faster and faster every year?
It does. It seems like it, yeah. This year seems like it's flown by for sure.
Well, Coach, I'll let you get out of here. You got a bunch of people. Hey, I saw some cool shirts.
Hey, those are pretty neat, huh? My wife was mad because she didn't get one.
I love Coach.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but.
And I had to ask the boy which coach he loved.
Well, I know.
I mean, I thought that was a legitimate question. Might depend on the minute or the hour.
I texted my wife in between the sets and said, "Do you think we can up Carson's allowance from $2 a week to $3 a week because of this?" And she said no, of course, because she didn't get a shirt, so she's thinking about taking $1 away from him. So
that's going to be a battle when you get home to see if he gets to keep the dollar or not.
Likely, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being a huge battle. The one thing I wanted to ask was he out stealing that buck you were looking at on your camera?
No, see, he was gonna go out tonight, and we had the big one in front of our cameras tonight, and he was gonna go out, and I think, man, he likes volleyball. He does. It's funny. He knows a lot about it, and he'll go home and we'll talk about it a little bit. He'll have some opinions on tonight.
So he could start coaching and be ahead of where you started.
Oh my gosh, way ahead. Yeah, but no. So he was going to go out tonight with the kind of little bit of change in the weather, and he decided he wanted to come watch this, and so he said maybe he'll go out tomorrow night. So we'll see.
Oh, maybe
he still needs me to help him drag it in and process it and things like that. So
he would have been saying. As soon as the game was over, he'd have been like,
we would have been out there. We've done that before, man. It's fun too. I love doing that with him. It's so funny, and he loves it, and it's something that we've really bonded, doing together. So
he's a better fisherman than you by now, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Is he a better hunter yet?
Possibly. He got the better deer last year, but I got the better one the year before. But the fisherman thing, it used to be he thought he was a better fisherman because I'd always in the boat. I'd always have to paddle and direct everything. So he'd have probably 4 casts to every one of mine. So he always felt like he was a big shot because he'd outfish me. But that's not the case anymore. He can outfish me no matter what.
Even if he's the one driving the boat?
Absolutely. Yeah. Which he never does, by the way. But
is that because he doesn't want to, or you don't trust him? That's the real question.
That's a great point. And he can't swim very good, and so that'd be kind of scary.
All right, Coach. We'll let you get out of here.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Coach Kerr talking to us for a few minutes on the post-game show there. Well, thanks for joining us once again. Quincy Notre Dame gets a 25-17, 25-22 win over Southeastern here tonight. Southeastern back in action on TSSR tomorrow night from West Prairie, and QND back in action tomorrow night from Macomb. So for Peyton, I'm Dwayne. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again very soon. See ya.